Well, folks, welcome to this week's Sportsman's Life. We're down at Richland Chambers Lake. Mr. Wysoon is behind the camera right now, and Mr. Chris Moody, gar addiction. This is the man right here that you see catching these big gar in the Trinity River. But we're going to catch crappie today.
Yes, sir. We're going to do a little crappie fishing, springtime, shallow water, and really don't feel like springtime right now. It's about 50, but it'll warm up today, and hopefully we can catch a bunch of big slabs this morning.
You know, crappie fishing is probably just, I know you guide for them too, but kind of probably a hobby or a baker's holiday for you after wrestling them big gar around, you know.
Right, yes, sir. That river, you know, it's a little bit more treacherous than the reservoir out here, and a lot hotter, and a lot more work pulling on them big fish too.
It is for a fact. Well, I bet you we're gonna catch some of those hand-tied jigs. I've been seeing the pictures of those things that you do for these crappie. I'm ready to get them. I know Mr. Wysoon, he already looks to me like he's ready for some fried crappie. I don't know.
I'm ready for fried crappie. I'm ready for anything right now, to be honest with you.
I hadn't had any since last night.
Oh my God, now I am jealous.
I'm gonna go on a starvation on the crappie. Well, I'm ready if y'all are.
All righty.
I'll sit around the other side and we'll go forward.
All right, move forward.
Not the only fisherman out here this morning, Luke.
Oh yeah.
I'm not sure what's going on there, but there sure was something stirred up.
Something moved some water, didn't it?
Yeah.
I seen it, but I never could see what it was.
Yeah, probably. I'm talking about probably an otter or.
Yeah, there's plenty of deer and hogs. And now, when I'm running up and down the river, I see a lot of hogs and deer, especially like when we get during the dry summer. I mean, the hogs are just everywhere along the river.
The water.
See them along the edge getting water or swimming the river.
You can actually, I know a navigable stream, if you're in the vegetation line, you can shoot them. I mean, it's legal to shoot as long as you stay in the riverbed.
I've seen some really good deer. One year before last, I've seen one of the biggest wild free-ranging bucks I've ever seen on the riverbank there. I mean, he was huge. He was probably close to a 170, 180 class deer. He was big.
That's right. If I can help, not to consider you got a deckhand if you need, if I can do anything to help you.
Just slowly take everything out.
Yeah.
Get some rods out. The minnow down there.
Yeah, and you can feel it.
And if you get hung, you can wiggle that thing, and that weight will sometimes jiggle that bait loose, you know. These are actually slabs that are made by RSR Lures.
Yep.
And they use them for sand bass and stuff, but I modify them and put me a crappie hook on there for when I use minnows. Box here to control it, to move it around in the direction I want to see. This is a foot control for it. They sell these, you can buy them, but I actually made this one. You see, that's the live scope, and that's where all this stuff, this smaller stuff, is just bait fish, shad in the creek here.
Oh my goodness. So there's a fair amount of shad in here.
There'll be,
right.
as the day progresses, it'll just be a solid, it'll look like snow on the screen. just the range. Like I say, all those little dots,
Yes, sir.
that's bait fish. These are all jigs that I tied myself and made. People ask me all the time if I'll sell them, but I just usually just give them to friends or stuff. You know, I've got just dozens of them, all different colors, and weights,
Boy,
and
they're beautiful.
style.
Never seen better looking
Oh,
jigs.
thank you.
You know.
And I might during the all season, during the winter months, sell some of these jigs. I don't know.
Mhm.
I have so many people message me on Facebook and everything,
I bet.
asking me about them. That's just this is a real common color during this time of year. Black, pink head, that's just a standard. My hands look rough, yeah.
Catching fish. Chris, this is an absolutely beautiful fish.
Yes, sir. That's a black crappie
A
male.
black crappie.
Yes, sir. That's a
Okay.
black crappie male, and they call this. A lot of people say, well, they got their tuxedo on. They get these dark colors.
Yeah.
The male turns real black when they get on the nest up there, and that's when they're sitting on that nest guarding eggs. They get these real dark colors when they move up shallow. And this is a white crappie, female. You can see
Yeah.
her belly's a little
Yeah.
full.
Well,
She's got eggs.
she does.
Yep.
Lot different color to
Yes,
them.
sir.
Are the males bigger or smaller?
No, usually the males are smaller. That's a big male crappie for sure. You know, you can see the iridescent blues and
Oh
stuff.
my gosh,
They're
yeah. If you
beautiful,
look right
beautiful
along
fish.
the edge of the fin line up
Yeah.
here, you can really see it. I think that's the biggest black crappie I've ever
Yeah.
caught.
They get big. This lake here has I think the black crappie and white crappie both are over 3 pounds in
Really?
records in this lake here.
Well, I tell you, invite? Oh my
Oh
gosh.
yeah, it's a beautiful fish.
Well, let's put these in the live well and see if we can catch another one. You got me excited now. Tell you what, I've had a chance to fish for crappies a fair number of places. The crappie we're catching up here with Chris are just phenomenal. The first crappie I caught was a black crappie, big old male, and this thing, I mean, look at that. You talk about a slab of a crappie right there. There's almost enough there for 2 meals in one fish.
It is, Chris, and you say that's what we're looking for, but
Oh yeah.
my gosh, everyone we've caught has been awesome, big
Yeah,
size.
that's a beautiful big. That's a big white female, white crappie
Big
female.
what? Is that what it is? I'm impressed. I'm telling you.
Well, we all are.
Oh man, let's put this in there and see if we can find another one. Golly, that's huge.
In June, they pushed their date out on it. But, you know, Garmin
at that.
Yeah. Garmin has led the way on this technology. So, you know, like we're doing now, we're not even using it, you know,
Not
really at the
really.
moment.
No.
These fish are so thick in this brush,
Not
it's
really.
really not even necessary.
Let's see, I don't see my bait.
But it allows me to pull up to these tops and find the fish. You know, I can cruise up to any of these trees and look in there and say, okay, yeah, there's crappie in that brush pile. And then of course sit in there and jig and catch it. It's a great tool. You know, it's just like anything. It helps you find the fish, but it definitely doesn't make them bite. You know,
Right.
But
You know what's
it's
there.
really it's entertaining, especially in deeper water, because you're able to target like specific fish, and that's what these tournament fishermen are doing. They're spotting specific fish sitting on timber, and after you use this thing a while in deeper timber, you can tell by the image the size of the fish you're after. Well, they'll target specifically bigger fish, and then, you know, just basically try to pick them off that timber.
Put it in
you know,
its-
keep
on
putting
its
it,
nose.
yeah, keep putting it in front of you. Like, so you got a fish, go down Luke, just a little bit. There's one of them, but he's a little back towards the boat, but he's not far.
I
He's
see
swimming,
him. I-
see
under
him
that
swimming to
limb
that
there.
top of that limb. Come back closer this way if you can. Let's see if you can drop it in there and get it about right. He's so close, he's moving off, but
I saw him there.
yeah, he's turning around. There he comes back. Go down a little bit. He may be too deep. I don't know. He may be deeper than what you are.
Yeah.
There's 2 or 3 of them just
There's
cruising.
one good,
Yeah.
good size right there.
There's,
They're all in that.
let me see if I can get my jig right where that fish
Okay.
is.
Yeah. Drop it on his nose.
Try. trying to wait to see if I can see another one.
Mm-hmm.
Close enough. We'll be able to get some footage today. I'll find a fish that we can actually see on a stump or a piece of timber.
Put it on him.
And we'll pick him off.
Chris, back to that good recipe. Take one of these big crappie and scale him, right?
Right, yeah, scale him, gut him, and cut his head off, and then
Yep.
score that fish on each side.
Cross hatch.
Yes, sir.
Uh-huh.
And then just, like I say, a real liberal coating of onion powder, garlic powder, salt, and black pepper.
A good bit of all of it.
Yes, sir. Don't be stingy at all, you know.
Yep.
Put quite a bit on it, good heavy coating where you can see it, and then put him on a smoker, pellet smoker, wood smoker, on about 225 for probably about 30 minutes to get him done.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, the fish will be pretty much cooked through then. And then I turn the heat up to about 350, and after that, let him stay on there about another 10 or 15 minutes until he sort of browns off, and then I put a little light coating of butter on each side, and then flip him and let it melt down through there, and then pull it off, and you're ready to eat.
I'm going to try that.
It's some of the best fish I've ever eaten.
Yeah, I might. I do a lot of campfire cooking, and I want to try some on a kind of an altered blackening. I started doing that up in Canada,
Right.
Chris. You know, to blacken, you have to get that skillet white hot.
Right.
Well, don't do that. It heats your. You can use olive oil or butter, and use you a good blackening seasoning. Honestly, Cabela's has some really good. It's called Backwoods or whatever, but it's really good, and it comes in a big bottle. You know, so coat it, and don't char it. Just cook, just kind of a high heat, but not smoking hot.
Right.
Some of the best fish in the world. You know, you can cook them bone in or cook the fillets, either one.
We eat a lot of fish. I blacken crappie and fried, of course. I had fried crappie last night, and but my preferred way, and I love fried fish, is to grill it like that.
I'll be
on
doing
that
it.
Smoker. The taste of the fish, and it's something about the whole fish, you know, with the bone in and the skin on it. It just all flavors together, and everybody that I've cooked that for has thought that it was some of the best fish they'd ever eaten in their life.
Well, it'll be these. One or two of these will be put to use like that real quick. Over 15 fish we've caught. This is a nice crappie, keeper crappie, but the
It's the
others
smallest
are
one.
at least a third bigger than this. You know, I mean, this will make some good eating, but we'll put him in there. But he's a minnow compared to these big ones in this cooler. Yeah, this is a good eater crappie, but let's look at him in comparison to the ones we've been catching. Look at that. Look at that.
A little bit of difference there. Yeah.
Let's go.
That is a good crappie though.
Yeah.
But look at the size of them, would you? Good gosh.
Crappie love a lot of cover though, don't they, Chris?
Oh yes, sir.
Yes,
Right now, especially this time of the year, when they get ready to spawn, they find that vegetation real tight, and they get up in there, and that's where they'll lay their eggs and spawn out. And then after this, of course, they'll return to sort of mid-range to deeper water.
Let's try him over here, and I've caught those last two and up closer to the bank there.
Yeah.
You know.
Just don't. They're camera shy. They don't want.
Yeah, they don't want to be famous, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
Try to see if I can get in front of one of them. No, they do not want to do it. I mean, we're literally right there by that fish. I'm trying to put it down. There's another one that's real close to that transducer. Let's see if I can get it.
Look at all of them in there.
They're swimming around everywhere. You see flashes of them. Look at them.
Yeah, see him right under my
There's
jig
my
right there.
bait. Let me see. Where's my bait? Right there. Okay, here you go. There.
Fish swimming right under the jig there.
Look at them. Look at that little school of them, would you?
You thought right there, I thought maybe you got one when he started
Yeah,
swimming
he
away.
darted away. That
Yeah.
jig.
I was gonna say, I was looking at the.
Just can't get one of them to commit on film. Oh, they'll get cranked up here.
Oh,
during the
yeah,
day when
there's
that
no
sun-
question.
When that sun comes up. Yeah, it's pretty deep. Big white crappie. Alright. See if I can get that jig out.
He's bleeding quite a bit.
Yeah, she got it deep, close to
Yeah.
her gill there. Eat.
Of course, you figure that's
Yeah.
one camera would be on.
Yeah.
Not that makes a bit of difference going in the pot.
There's one right there. That's another one of those old chunky ones. I hung up. Let me get him out here.
Oh, look at that. Beautiful fish.
It is a pretty one. Chris, I'll tell you what, buddy. As they say, it don't get much better than this now.
No, it don't. There is nothing better in the fishing world than catching these crappie, especially on a jig. It's just something about fooling them with an artificial bait.
It is. All right. We'll put him in the cooler.
Yeah, there's the ball of them.
Let him join those others, and then they will soon be exposed to another lake, Lake Crisco, huh? Another nice one. We'll put him right on ice.
It's pretty nice in there, sir.
Pretty good one.
Pretty good one.
Tain't bad.
God, those are pretty. See, that one's been hit by
Look where that
Anahingas.
cormorant had
Yeah.
got a hold of him.
Yeah,
Can you see that?
absolutely. That is a shame, but that's what those cormorants do.
They have that hook beak.
Yeah.
The other day, then when we were in here, I think me and my son caught about 30 something, and we probably had about 6 or 8 of them that had wounds on them from these cormorants.
Cormorant.
So there's just no telling how many hundreds and thousands of fish, them game fish, them cormorants eat here,
Oh,
you know,
my.
in these Texas waters, and they're protected, you know.
Yeah.
So you just have to. I've heard of them literally wiping out private lakes and ponds.
Oh, they do. They do.
It's a shame.
Crappie. Okay. All right. Hold still.
Ladies and gentlemen, y'all just saw Luke Clayton drop a crappie and pick it up,
And I actually
caught it. He caught it on a hook and he caught it on the
Through
boat.
the years, a lot of times when you drop them, they've got other plans.
We saw what happened to that while ago.
Yeah.
Well, let's throw him in there with his kindred fish.
With his kindred,
My
his
God.
brethren
Ooh,
and sisters.
that look good. You do have one. Another nice one.
Look at that.
Hold that rascal up here.
Look at that. Look, I'm swinging around all over the place.
Turn him side. I'd love to see him sideways, horizontal. If
I'm
he'd
gonna
stick you.
grab him here in a second. We'll hold him sideways.
Yeah, I like to see that. Oh man, what would they say down in Mexico? Dos filetes or whatever?
Yeah, I'm
Dude,
not sure.
you're not sure.
It probably would be filetes. I'm not sure.
Okay. All right. We'll put him in the cooler. You talk about some lively son of a gun, Larry. Is that pretty or what? That's pretty. That's a
That
pretty
is
one.
absolutely beautiful, Luke.
Beautiful crappie. This is unbelievable crappie fishing up here with Mr. Chris Moody, I'm telling you.
And not only that, you're doing it with the jigs that he's hand-tied himself.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Absolutely
Well,
beautiful.
we'll put him in the cooler and try to get another one. What do you say?
I think you
That's
need
what I
to.
say.
white crappie.
Beautiful, beautiful. Look at that rascal.
That is absolutely gorgeous, isn't it?
Yep. Nothing to it. Well, that's pretty crappie.
Golly.
Let's show him
That
off,
is
Larry.
beautiful.
Look at that.
That is beautiful. We're gonna put him right there. We can see that.
See, that's a white crappie, but it's a male. See how he's getting all these real dark
Yep,
colors?
you can see the bars on him.
There's the thing that did it right there.
That's a hand-tied jig, and he could not resist it,
He
could
could
he?
not, could he?
Well,
Beautiful
there's
fish.
beautiful, beautiful.
What you?
Larry, you've got one, don't you, buddy?
I do. Tell you what, you talk about great fun here. I tell you what, they like Chris's dadgum.
Hand-tied jigs.
Oh man, I tell you,
Back-
the jigs are fantastic.
Back during our winter blizzard, that's exactly. Hold him up a little higher there, Larry.
Grab a hold of that. Right there, you can really see that. Isn't that pretty?
Pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. Well, okay. Into the cooler he goes.
Beautiful. Big old white crappie.
That is a big old white crappie. I'm impressed. I'll tell you. I thought we might catch some crappie, but I had no idea that we would be catching crappie that would look like that.
Got a double
Awesome
here.
fish.
We got us.
They got a double.
Yep, Luke's got one.
Luke's got one. Lay that right there for a second.
Yeah.
Throw that one in there. Oh my goodness.
Oh man, good
As
job.
I say,
Oh my God.
it
Luke.
does not get any better than this.
I mean,
If it did, I
oh man.
couldn't handle it.
No.
Could not.
Nice.
No.
Chris, buddy, you have the ticket on this. You've got the ticket.
The cool thing
I'm gonna have to do a little surgery on this one. So.
The cool thing about this last one, I actually saw him come up on the coast.
We're paying the price because they're in here.
All right, good.
I went in, flash a little bit just in case.
I got it. Good job.
Oh man, this is so much fun. Not only is this fun, it's the fact that we're fishing with you, the fact that you're the one who did the jigs, and then you catch fish like this, and that's not one of the big ones. I mean, to me, that's a monster right there, but compared to some of the others that we've taken, it's not.
Get him up out of the murky depth.
Black one?
Yep.
How many more we need? We're getting close, aren't we?
10, maybe?
11.
Well,
That is so pretty. And again, to me, that was a huge crappie right there until I started fishing with you. You ruined me.
10 foot, yeah. 10 foot out. Yeah. He's a good one. Bring him on in. Another pretty one.
Those are so pretty.
That's such a beautiful fish, man. I'll tell you what. Well, I'll take him out. We're working on a limit right now, so
We're getting close, aren't we?
9 more. Let me do a little light surgery here. Well, I'll tell you what, folks, we have limited out. We caught most of them. We wanted to get the full limit, so we got fill the cooler up. Let's take a look at this cooler. Now, you can't put any more in there. So, and this is some monstrous sized crappie, in my opinion.
Yeah, these aren't those little
No.
6-inch crappie.
I mean, these things are big. So I guess to the cleaning station we go.
Yes, sir.
Is that right? Okay.
Yes, sir. We'll go fillet
Little
these,
boat ride and
these guys up and have some fine eating.
I will say this, I've caught crappie off and on all my life. I'm not a crappie pro. This is, and I'll make this statement bluntly, the best crappie fishing I've ever experienced, hands down.
Well, you can say the same thing for me. I told you earlier I caught my biggest black crappie and the biggest white crappie, both in successive catches. So,
Yeah.
Chris, out of this world, thank you.
Yeah, I really enjoyed you guys fishing with me, and it's been an honor to take y'all fishing. I appreciate it very much.
Thank you.
Had a great time.
Let's head to the dock and see what kind of fillets we got.
All righty.
Well, folks, this wraps up another episode. Chris, I tell you, buddy, we've looked at all these fish limits. Big old crappie in the shallow water during the spawn. I'll reiterate again, I've never had a more fun. I've had lots of fun fishing trips and lots of fun catching crappie, but never caught as many. Well, look, I mean, you don't catch crappie like that. I don't every day. Chris, tell everybody how they can track you down and catch a great big old gar in the Trinity River, or come out here and catch catfish or crappie. How do they locate you?
Yes, sir. I've got two websites. One is texasfishingaddiction.com and the other is garfishingaddiction.com. I guide on the Trinity River, of course, for trophy alligator gar on rod and reel. And then also guide out here on Richland Chambers for crappie, white bass, hybrid striper, catfish. Just pretty much anything that swims if someone wants to catch it.
Well, it was lots of fun. We got Mr. Wysoon running the camera. This is going to wrap us up for this week. Folks, make sure and check us out, A Sportsman's Life on YouTube, or you can also go to Pride Outdoor Network and check out A Sportsman's Life. Till next week, be safe in the outdoors.
And a special thanks to these fine sponsors: Air Force Air Guns, B&B Charcoal, Dallas Safari Club, Hornady, Pyramid Air, Nielsen Specialty Ammo, Sightmark, Smokin' Tex, Snap Block Hunting Blinds, Texas Raised Hunting Products, and Striper Express.